Hello everyone, I'm Eng C.C. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to introduce a great mode for Diablo 2 Law of Destruction, aka D2X, which I call D2 for short myself. It is the same word as I call TSW. And before we go to the main thing, let me introduce myself more. Who am I and what am I related to this mode? First, I'm a D2 player for over 20 years. I had played hardcore mode in vanilla D2 for over 5 years. After that, I began to feel tired of vanilla D2 for some deep reasons, which I'm not going to talk about because it is a long story and sounds not fun. Anyway, I finally found this mode which reclaimed my passion for D2. I played this mode passionately and tried to promote it as possible as I could. But the result was not as good as I did. This was the end of the story at the time. So, why do I start to make videos 10 years later? It's a shorter story. Someone who was not good at computers asked me for help because she wanted to make YouTube videos and she needed a software for editing videos. She asked me to find one for her. So I did some research on the internet and finally got one. In case she asks me for help, I need to know more than her. I begin to learn this software too, and this is the start of my video making. When I decided to learn video editing, the question came to my mind is, what topic can I make? And the answer is TSW. I can make videos facing to foreigners. Actually, the main ideas of this video comes from the article I wrote in Chinese. I transfer it into videos basically. As I mentioned before, this is a testing video. There are some factors that I am testing and monitoring. Give me some feedback if you are a foreigner to let me know as reference. Okay, let's go back to the main thing and start with FAQ that I made in Chinese. Here I translate it into English and modify. Question: what is the scene word? It is a mode based on D2X, which is made by a Taiwanese. By the way, I'm Taiwanese too. We had discussions before. It has huge change on almost every aspect of D2X. Monsters, skills, equipment, rooms, economy, and etc. However, unlike the famous mods, TSW looks not fascinating. It focuses on the fundamentals rather than video effects. Question: can I run it on D2R? Answer: no, for D2R is not as free as D2. The owner finally decided to stay in D2. Question: which version of D2X is it compatible with? Answer: it is compatible with D2X 1.13c right now, because 1.14d has some troubles in my memory. I'm not sure. The compatible version finally went back to 1.13c. So if you use D2, remember to download the correct version or change the file path. Once you install TSW by the instruction, Optimized Video Mode is also installed. learn them on the internet. D2GL Glide Wrapper and SGD2 Free Resolution. Question: who is not recommending to play it? Answered: player who is used to Enigma Infinity, which are imbalanced, is not recommended to play it. Because in TSW, the core value is diversity, along with the freedom of choice. Imbalanced scenes like skills, equipment, mercenaries, and others are reset in TSW. So, the popular Enigma, which gives you teleport, now doesn't work. Infinity, which gives you aura, is also removed. The same as inside. And left tab from draw course graphs now only adds to Necromancer. So you can see the over-powerful equipment gear is removed to make space for others. In TSW, you don't have a uniform now. You must think by yourself. And for this reason, if TSW wants to make buildings diverse, it must make gears easy to get, which is Q formula. The Q with the NPC in Act 4, who sells all Q materials, can give you all the gears. In other words, the second kind of people who is not recommended to play is farmers. If you are interested in magical fighting, then you will find out that your efforts are in vain sadly. However, if you are interested in economic balance, maybe you can try. This is a big issue in TSW because potion is only sold in shops. You cannot get potions from masters, and the maximum selling price is 5k in hell difficulty, which leads to an issue of economic balance. Both of goal and the potion issue naturally lead to the change of behavior. As the potion is so expensive, you have to use it carefully. It means that you have to dodge, escape, or even change buildings to sustain. Question: who is recommended to play? Answer: those who want to challenge, have deeper understanding of vanilla D2. Those who are tired of vanilla D2 style, like me. I'm the guy who is tired of continuously magical fighting for earning something I needed. Who likes to try new buildings? Or like the order, who like vanilla D1 and D2. He said that TSW is a combination of D1 and D2. In other words, to play TSW, you need to bear the process of transferring, usually equivalent to suffering period. Question: is it suggested to play alone or team? Answer: TSW is designed for team play, so it is suggested to play with a team. It is possible to play alone, but the difficulty rises sharply. For example, the first question in hell difficulty is how to face the dual immunity monsters, which is unable to remove. In nightmare difficulty is one immunity, so playing it is more like vanilla D2. By the way, I'm a single player because no other players near time. Since I'm used to play in hell difficulty, what I talk about is based on it. Question: What is suggested to do if I am a new player? Answer. In my current opinion, I suggest to start with a level 99 character, where you can find it on the internet. But you can also start by creating a new character, which is okay for current version because it's adjusted in normal difficulty. And the knowing face casting rate, aka FCR, and the face hit recovery, aka FHR table is necessary. It is important in TSW as you don't have such powerful gears in Marina D2. You will need to make trade-off decisions. Besides, for buildings, there are document files that you can search now. You can start with your Marina D2 buildings in TSW version and change gradually. And if you are deep enough, you may alternately using Udietoo to make perfect deals. You need to know the rules of physics. And the most important one is to change your mindset and playing style. Even though I have played hardcore mode for 5 years, I still have to change my behavior to fix my bad habit or to review my understanding. I believe this is universal to every new TSW player. Here is a reminder from me. It is better to have an unpleasant solution rather than no solution. Keep this in mind and you may find out things are not so impossible. Monsters. If you start from hell difficulty like me, I think you may be shocked by the wizards in Act 1, which never attracted your attention before. Now they become a huge threat in TSW. You can see they cast certain skill of Druid, like Firestorm, Hurricane, and Astra. And all of them are dual immune. This may be not a big issue for multiplayers, but it would be for a single player like me. Even though I said how difficult it is, TSW still has some good news for players. One is TSW removed the unreasonably deadly monsters, those bug rifles, and others. So you would not be killed unreasonably. You will be killed reasonably now. By the way, the reach penalty is 1/4 in AO difficulty in TSW compared to 1/3 in vanilla D2. Mercenaries. I guess you will be surprised as you open Mercenary menu. You can see the equipment slots are the same as character, 4 slots. With 4 slots, you have much more choices to strengthen your mercenary. Mercenary is a big issue in TSW if you play alone. Let me explain the whole thinking process. If you play alone, the first question is to deal with dual immune monsters, which your skills would be constructed as dual types of damage generally. Because the skill tree with 3 types of damage would be too weak. Only a few special career can do it. In such situation, how to find a 3rd type of damage? The answer is mercenary, so that it is in the importance of mercenary for a single player. Thanks to TSW, all kinds of mercenary are now available in TSW. They are all capable of being a strategic part. Check README file to know other changes. Skills. Skills are the most distinguished feature of TSW library. Without it, TSW will not be TSW. The logic is easy to understand. AoE skills have lower damage, higher mana cost. Single skills have higher damage, lower mana cost. TSW encourages players to use as many skills as possible. This is why TSW has 3 unique charms that add all skills to support the one-point skills. Besides, some powerful skills in Vanilla D2 are debuffed. For example, Fanaticism from Paladin, which has several benefits in Vanilla D2, now only adds caster rate and attack speed, making room for other skills overlapping with it. Basically, TSW tries to make skills different so that every skill can be useful. Equipment issue is a big and fun part. I just try to introduce the base logic. And for not spoiling you, I will not talk too much. The basic logic is the less, the higher, and vice versa. So magic items have the highest value, and rare ones has more but low value. Set items will give many types of ability and some are special. Unique items give some rare ability, like slay monsters rest in peace, or cannot be frozen. I suggest you to read the files to know more. You can see something interesting as you read. Summary. To sum up, why do I love TSW? I think it is fun to me. The fun thing is to fight with challenging monsters and a few good abilities, and the mechanics needed to do in some difficult maps, which may make me feel annoyed and frustrated many times. The playing process is not easy and relaxing. Usually, it is on the upside. But once you manage it, the feeling of achievement, the growth of your gaming ability and understanding, they just become your own property. At least it is to me. And this is the end. Thanks for your watching.